And we are coming on the air right now with breaking news. 24 hours ago, life changed for thousands of people in the inland Northwest. 24 hours ago, a fire started just south of Medical Lake. It has now burned nearly 200 structures over more than 7 miles. Homes, lives lost in an instant, and right now, firefighters still do not have this under control. The biggest impact for so many of us right now, this smoke. Air quality is in the hazardous range for most of the inland Northwest right now. Ash from these fires has spread to Coeur d'Alene and beyond. I'm Melissa Luck here to bring you up to speed on what is new right now, specifically the Gray Fire west of Medical Lake and 2 other major wildfires burning in our area. Spokane County commissioners have just declared a state of emergency. What we know right now is that the Gray Fire in particular is catastrophic. There are entire neighborhoods in Medical Lake, Silver Lake, and Granite Lake destroyed, and at least 1 person has died. So here's what's new this afternoon. We know more than 9,000 acres have burned in the Gray Fire, which started southwest of Medical Lake yesterday afternoon and made a 7-mile run to I-90. It's now threatening homes south of I-90 near Salnave Road. Nearly 200 homes and other buildings have burned, and at this hour, hundreds more homes are still at risk. I want to take a look now at the current evacuation map. Obviously, it's very specific to streets and roads. This information is online. This includes the entire city of Medical Lake and the surrounding areas, including 4 Lakes and Silver Lake. I-90 is still closed at this hour. We know many of you are watching and worried about your homes, your friends' homes, and people you know in this area. Spokane Sheriff John Knowles has an important message about what to do.
What we are asking folks to do is, if you are aware of somebody who lived there in the area of this fire who you can't get a hold of, we're asking that you call Crime Check, make a missing persons report, and that is the most effective and most efficient way for us to get those people who we need to be aware may be still in the area and get resources to trying to locate them. So that is something that's very critical, very important. Call Crime Check, make those reports.
Crime Check is 456-2233. Knowles says it's critical people do not enter the evacuation zone. You could be doing more harm than good. And as we mentioned, Spokane County is now under a state of emergency as these fires are nowhere near controlled. We have journalists all over the area talking to people impacted. Bronte Sorotsky's live in Medical Lake today, where she has been since yesterday. And Bronte, what do we know about the fire right now?
Well, Melissa, one of the really most striking things I heard is that people at this press conference, officials say they've never seen anything like this in this area. We talked about it earlier. Spokane County is declaring a state of emergency for this fire, basically to speed up the process to get that assistance. I mean, this fire has caused so much damage already. At least 185 structures burned, 1 life lost. I mean, the damage that this has caused this community, and hundreds of homes are still at risk. We know that the fire has burned at least 9,500 acres, and earlier officials said they wouldn't be surprised if that number grows even more. As Sheriff Knowles said earlier, they are just asking people to stay out of the way as they work to assess if people still need help getting out and just see if anyone else has been affected by this fire. We're going to stay out here all afternoon, all evening, bringing you the latest updates on this fire. For now, reporting live near Medical Lake, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
Bronte, if you could stay there for just a second. You were out there covering this fire throughout the afternoon yesterday. You've been out since early this morning. Can you talk a little bit, you alluded to this, about the fire officials. Congresswoman Kathy McMorris Rodgers was out there today. There is a great sense of worry and concern from people who deal with major catastrophes all the time.
Right. I mean, I think the biggest thing that Eric Keller at DNR actually just called me just a little bit ago is that resources are stretched thin. I mean, so much is being used for these fires that, I mean, any other emergencies, it's hard to even think about those right now because all resources are on these fires and keeping people safe.
All right, thanks so much, Bronte. We'll be checking in with you throughout the afternoon. Hearing about those evacuation levels and containment doesn't bring home the real impact of this fire. This does. Take a look. This video last night shot by our reporter Rania Kaur. This is Stanley and Grant in Medical Lake, a street, a neighborhood wiped out by those relentless and fast-moving flames. And this is one of those homes burned last night. Spokane City Council member Zach Zappone shared this picture online of his parents' home in Medical Lake. They got out safely, and Zappone said his aunt and uncle's home burned down as well. We are going to hear stories like this in the coming days as the destruction from this fire is impacting so many people. We also just received this picture from viewer Colby Theppel. This is the west end of Medical Lake, and you can see just destruction and devastation. Flames moved so quickly through this area last night. A lot of people got out only with the clothes on their back. Our First Alert weather team has been watching conditions all week, worried about exactly what happened yesterday. High winds, dry conditions, explosive fires. Matt Gray has been tracking all of this for us. And Matt, the fire behavior is one thing. The smoke is the story today.
Yes, and that's going to be really the focus here as we head through the rest of the weekend, because it's affecting everyone. I mean, we can even smell it here in our studio as that smoke filtering in through every little crack that it can find. We are in hazardous air quality right now in the Spokane area. That is the top of the scale. That is as high as it goes. And when you have hazardous air quality, you have to really be deliberate about how much time you are spending outside, because before you know it, this smoke can get to you and start affecting your health and well-being. Here's the situation right now. In fact, in this very dark color here, you can see this hazardous air quality now spreading out across places like Airway Heights into the Wellpinit area and a lot of other places in the metro. Still in this purple color, which is very unhealthy. Anywhere red and above on that scale on the top of your screen, that's when you have to limit your time outdoors, because that smoke is so thick and you are breathing all of those little particles in. So this is the time to stay inside, and, well, unless you have to, I just would not be going out in these conditions. Here's what's going on as far as the winds. Well, they're not very fast, and that means our smoke is not going anywhere very fast. Winds are out of the north and out of the east, as you can see on this map, in most areas, or they are light and variable. So that smoke has largely parked itself, or it is being driven into Spokane, into Coeur d'Alene by some of these fires, particularly the Ridge Creek fire, which is up above Hayden Lake, and then this other major fire in Spokane County, the Oregon fire, which is near kind of the Elkin Chattaroy area. So let's zoom in here, because this, particularly in North Spokane County, is really going to keep the air quality really in that hazardous range for many of us for an extended period, because as this fire, which is largely one of the most active ones in our region right now, continues to grow, continues to belch out that smoke, and it is going to be, as you see with this arrow, pushing this direction eventually towards North Spokane and those communities that are sitting north there on Highway 2 and Highway 395. So we have the fires marked here in these red markers. Here's the smoke forecast as we head over the next few hours. That area in pink, that is where we're seeing the worst air quality, that thickest smoke, largely because of that Oregon fire in North Spokane County. This is 6 o'clock tonight. As you can see here, there is not a lot of change that we expect. And then as we head late into the night, not a lot of changes, perhaps some slight improvement in Kootenai County. But these fires in Spokane County are going to continue to keep that air quality in the unhealthy, very unhealthy, or most likely, as smoke settles back down to the ground tonight, in the hazardous range. Do not expect much, if any, improvements on Sunday. It looks like we're going to be waiting at least 24 hours, likely longer, before things begin to improve on the air quality front. Melissa.
All right, thanks so much, Matt. Matt will continue to track that and those winds for us throughout the day. News came around 8 o'clock last night that someone had died in this fire in Waterfront Park in Medical Lake. Our Jordan Smith spoke to the family of that man today. They identified him as Carl Grube. His sister-in-law spoke with Jordan not long ago. Carl was within about, the fire rather, was within about 20 feet of his house. Neighbors were trying to help. They weren't able to do so. And we are told that Grube was active in the FFA community, that he owned Jensen Memorial Youth Ranch. A tragic story through all of this. Our thoughts are with Carl's friends and family tonight. The state of emergency is county-wide today. Not only the Gray Fire, but a second major wildfire is also burning in our region. The Oregon Road Fire started near Elk yesterday and has exploded to more than 8,000 acres. Here are the evacuation areas right now. The Level 3 evacuation zone runs north to Milan Elk, south to Chattaroy, west to Newport Highway, and east to Elk Chattaroy. Anyone living within the area marked in red on your screen should leave immediately. The evacuation center is at Riverside High School, and that is in Chattaroy. 150 homes are still in that fire's path. Fire crews reported this morning 30 structures had burned. It could be well over that by now. High winds also spread this fire. Throughout the night and early morning, firefighters warned people to get out. There is a lot of uncertainty as this fire continues to grow. If there is any good news to report, and there is not much right now, it's that crews are getting a handle on a fire burning in Whitman County. That fire has burned more than 3,000 acres near the community of Winona. That whole area was evacuated last night, but as of noon today, level 3 evacuation orders are lifted. They do want people living there to stay ready for the next 24 hours just in case those conditions change, but much improved from where we were this morning. And again, we want to talk about air quality. This is from our studio on West Boone Avenue, directly across the street from the Spokane Arena. You can barely make out the Spokane Arena. You can see the Spokane County Courthouse there, just barely. That should be a clear shot on a beautiful summer day. But this is what we're dealing with, is hazardous air conditions across the area. There are a lot of closures and cancellations happening related to this smoke. The Skyride downtown is closed. The concert at Northern Quest tonight is closed, or is canceled rather. Some businesses in the area are considering closing as well. So as Matt said, if you're able to stay home, please do. We'll do our best to update the changing cancellations and closures on our website as we get them. We know that you are relying on us as conditions change. We have crews all over the region this afternoon working to get you up to date as soon as we get new information. If you download the 4 News Now app, sign up for notifications, we will get that information to your phone as soon as we have it. We'll also continue live coverage on the app and our website, and also on your connected TV with the KXOY Plus app. That is free. You can download that and catch all the latest information there. Derek Dice will be here on 4 News Now at 5 and 6 to update the conditions with live reports from all of these fires. Until then, be safe. We are with you as the state of emergency continues in Spokane County.